Welcome to CCS Season 5. I'm back with Sleeper. Arizona takes on Cincinnati in an undefeated Big 12 showdown. Arizona leads the head-to-head 1-0 over the Bearcats of Cincinnati. This should be an exciting game, Sleeper.
Yeah, the last time these two did face off was in Season 4, so it was a full semester ago. So we had some changes on Cincinnati Bearcats as well. Zell coming on into the squad. So this is going to be a very good competition between these two, especially because the track records that these teams have had so far in CCS Season 5.
Looks like the players are ready. We'll get started here in a second, but Sleeper, this is a big game. I mean, both teams undefeated. Cincinnati ranked as 10th, Arizona 9th. So the winner for sure going to jump the other team still heading into next week.
Yeah, some big seeding implications, not just in conference play in general, but in that top 25 poll, seeing who will proceed undefeated and make it further into that top 10 conversation. Again, both of these teams are top 10, but only one can start climbing even more as we get down underway now.
Game 1 underway. Sleeper predictions. I think we're going to 5 here. This is a big game for both teams. I'm excited to see what happens. Arizona, I've talked a lot to Gustav coming in toward tonight. They're very confident in their ability to win big series like this.
Yeah, it'll definitely be a really tight competition. Game 5, I could see going the way of Arizona because they took Drexel to 5 in non-conference play, but unfortunately couldn't close that out there. But against a team like the Bearcats, I think they could have the ice to close it out.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. Again, you go to 4 Florida and 5 with Drexel. They really should have swept Drexel. At Game 2, they choked away. But right now in Game 1, there's the first. The Wildcats 1-0 lead.
Starting off on a good footing here. Goose able to take it the entire length of the pitch and just get it around the corner. Zell had no chance of even touching that ball there.
Not at all. Just 39 seconds. Arizona on the board early. I told you earlier, Gustav, I've talked a lot to him this week about the implications of this game, what it means to this team to win, and what they want to do this semester. This is a big game on the resume for both Arizona and Cincinnati. And coming in, they are fully confident in their ability to win this series as quickly as possible.
Yeah, but the Bearcats, they're probably just going to be just as hungry as ever to try and win this game and stay undefeated. Currently 4-0, Arizona 3-0. That's just the difference of who has had doubleheaders so far in conference play. But the Bearcats also, they're 8-0 through the entire Season 5, including non-conference. They've only dropped 2 games in total. So this is a big matchup for them to try and get a quality win on the board.
Another double almost found its way through, but right, Cincinnati hasn't played the quality that Arizona has faced in the non-conference. Sleeper. They did play. I think they played a really good Big 10, Big 12 battle opponent, but this is probably the biggest game of Cincinnati's season, I'd imagine. But it's so early on. Both teams ranked fairly high in their rankings, and I'm excited to see what happens tonight.
Exactly. It's still going to be a very exciting matchup between these two teams. Now just almost 3 minutes on the clock. Still the 1 goal on the side of the Wildcats. Bearcats haven't been able to break out of their own half too much and get much offense on their side, but they're starting to look to change that up here. Mystic trying to take it through the corner. Able to stop that one there. Leaves it for Zell, trying to take it off the backboard, but Bob is there to read it. Now counterattack possible the other way.
These two teams met just once last season, went to Game 5. Arizona edged out the Bearcats of Cincinnati. Took a minute. We got a cat battle going on tonight, Sleeper. The Wildcats and the Bearcats. I'm going to get them mixed up all night long.
Oh, yeah, that's just what happens when two teams are so similar with very slight differences. But Bob puts a second through for the Wildcats, trying to prove that it's better to be wild than to be a bear.
2.5, just the halfway point, Sleeper. In Arizona's offense, they are opening up opportunities consistently from the beginning. Cincinnati hasn't really created many chances to strike, and the Arizona defense, credit to them. I mean, they're playing a heck of a series so far, just 2.5 in.
Yeah, definitely. Trying to drop it down to Zell there. It was Mystic. Got stopped by Amphis for only a second. Bob trying to clear this one out. The shot from Cy able to be saved by Amph. Now the Bearcats finally able to get some offense going after the kickoff, keeping it there as well. Good 50 on Goose. That one's going to hit the backboard. Amph just trying to pop it up. Leaves it for Goose as well, but they're being stuck to their own half for a brief moment here.
Shot on target won't go. Mystic will hold the line for the Bearcat defense for now, but 2-minute warning in Game 1. Arizona's lead out to 2. This is a big game for Cincinnati, especially. Again, these teams ranked 10th and 11th, 9th and 10th, and Arizona again had the game 5 with Drexel, where they really should have swept them, and the 3-1 loss to Florida. There's their 2 losses from the year, trying to now pick up their biggest win of the season with Cincinnati.
Yeah, they're definitely taking it to him. That's another shot saved away by Zell. Defense from the Bearcats able to hold on here so far, but that shot over to Amph. It's going to be on, but Mystic is there to make the save. Has to leave it for Cy for the clear. Wildcats, they're still keeping the Bearcats stuck in their own half. Not really able to get any more offense going since that good little moment after the second kickoff there.
And this just feels like a Saturday night game with the Sweet 16, Elite 8 kind of around, where things are really nitty-gritty down the stretch of the season, Sleeper. We're getting this kind of a battle into week number 5. It's still early in this season. We have a huge top 10 matchup tonight.
Yeah, early in the season, you got to try and get the wins as early as possible to bolster that score sheet for being selected for the Season 5 championship. Bearcats, they ended up missing out last season on the CCS championship tournament. The Arizona Wildcats, they made it in, and they unfortunately got kicked out in round 2 of the tournament by the Maryland Terrapins, who they went on to beat in non-conference in Season 5. So they're looking hungrier than ever in this season. And that's almost going to be a third there for Amph, getting the Wildcats up to a 3-0 lead with 15 seconds on the clock.
Cincinnati made the tournament last season, got to the second round. They beat Rutgers in round 1, and then it lost in the second round, I believe. They were in the tournament, though.
Okay, I must have just somehow overlooked them, because I swear I looked and I didn't see them anywhere. But if they did, then they did. Congrats to them. But so it looks like both of them did end up going out in the same round. They want to try and bolster that a little bit better and make it even farther this season. The Wildcats of Arizona looking to do just that, though. Winning game number 1, 3-0, starting off this series on the right foot.
That they are, Sleeper. What a start for the Wildcats of Arizona, but it's still a long battle ahead of us here for both Cincy and Arizona. But it's, again, you got to be perfect in this kind of a series where everything's on the line. You're playing a really good team on the other side of the field. Arizona's not going to back down. Cincinnati also not going to back down from a fight. As game 1, they've been dominant in the past for the Bearcats, but tonight, starting out slow, we'll see if they can bounce back.
Yeah, there's still plenty of time. You never want to end up trying to have to reverse sweep. Either of these teams would be the case, but Arizona, after going up first, they will be the team that the Bearcats would have to reverse sweep if it goes to that length. But it will be a very tough competition for both Arizona and Cincinnati here in these upcoming matches. It's going to be give and take the whole way.
That it is, and on to game number 2. Cincinnati 1-0. The current favorite for Arizona.
And just waiting for these teams to get back on in here after a little bit of a lobby reset. But Nation, I want to get your opinion. What did you like out of Arizona there after that game 1?
I mean, I talked a lot to Goosenov and the crew, and they're very confident. Their offenses continue to get better. Their defense is very good, not allowing goals. I mean, I don't know if you watched the Utah game, but they were almost lights out the whole 20 minutes. And Utah barely scored, and they barely saw natural opportunities. So if they can keep up that level of defense, Cincinnati is in severe trouble. So we lost L.
Well, looks like we'll have to get another little quick reset here. Just unfortunate lobby shenanigans happening right now. A little bit of technical difficulties, but we'll work on getting that all fixed up.
It could have been a server issue.
Yeah, it could have been the server. Who knows? But we want these teams to be at the top of their game. We don't want any little technical glitches to end up being the decider in this game. We want these teams to be the decider of the outcome of the match.
That it does. And again, we're just kind of waiting to get a good server, hopefully, for game 2 and on. I think maybe we're good now. I don't know. Cell's still on 70. He does not like the server. It's about as good as we're gonna get for a Central.
Yeah, I mean, we have an Arizona team and we have a Cincinnati team, so trying to get one that fits right into both of their lineups. Zell ended up missing that touch. Could have been a ping thing, but also just possibly not in the right spot after the kickoff. But the Bearcats getting a little bit of offense here after the kickoff to open things up.
Bomb 1-on-1 will force the 50 down on the Cincinnati side. We start in game 2. Sleeper, maybe a chance here early for the Wildcats to strike with no one there. For Zamp left too far back in the play as Mystic will start the transition for the Bearcats.
Yeah, but the Wildcats keeping it deep in that Bearcats half there of Cincinnati. Not letting them break out quite yet. Now Mystic trying to get something going here. Demo in the midfield allows Arizona to stay on offense. Another demo. That one's going to waterfall down. Amph is there. Can't get a touch, though. Expecting Zell to get a little clear out, so he went for the dunk instead. But now Mystic able to lob that ball over to the midfield line. Bob again there to keep it for the Wildcats on offense.
And if you're Amp in that situation, that's a touch you got to finish and find the early goal in game 2. And they couldn't do that there, but again, play continues 0-0 through the first minute.
And Bob can't get a touch on that one there. Goose now finally able to dive into the play. Pass center, able to be stopped by Sai. Now Amp off of that sidewall there. Gets 50'd in the midfield. Bearcats trying to go onto offense here. But no boost in the tanks, and full control from Bob will make it so that they are back on their own half, trying to play some defense.
Nice dunk there for the Wildcats. 3:18 to go. Amp fires. No good. A rebound for Amp, also turned away side. That was broken up by an Arizona offensive shooter. Kind of, unfortunately for the Wildcats offense, went off the teammate's car, and we're going to change up the play. There's an open net for Amp. 1-0 Arizona lead.
Amp just drives through the entire defense from the Cincinnati Bearcats. Zell's touch just ends up right into the hands of Amp. The shot comes through. And 3:05 on the clock. Arizona, 1-goal lead. Now, as after the kickoff, Mystic able to take control, trying to fake out the defense. Only able to get it around 1 before the rest of Arizona covers it up.
2:53 to go. Zell broken up here, no one home, and for the Bearcats to strike is a little late to the challenge. Both teams are at full strength, so again, it's both teams are at whatever disadvantage you make on the terms of the server. I don't really think it's that much of a difference. They're both pretty fairly even ping wise. At halftime here in game 2, Sleeper, what do you like in early if you're Arizona?
I mean, anytime that the Bearcats try and go on offense like that, they've been able to shut it down. Their defense has been immaculate here, not even allowing them a single goal yet in this series, although it has just been getting started. Mystic trying to make some shenanigans happen for the Bearcats, but it doesn't end up coming through. But again, this defense from Arizona has been lights out and shutting offensive opportunities down for Cincinnati.
Cincinnati still has yet to score tonight. And they are now 8 minutes without a single goal for this Arizona defense. They have played lights out so far. This is the start you wanted if you're the Wildcats here, Sleeper.
Well, that was almost an open goal there. Amp was able to turn it away, though, at the last second. Shot just going off the crossbar as well. Mystic turns that opportunity from Amp away from the net. Now Bob trying to get involved in the play. It's going to be a long clear from Sai. Right into the hands of Amp, but he can't do anything with it. He just has to rely on Goose now in the back line. Pass center to Mystic. He was pushed up just a little bit too much. Sai's touch just went wayward. And that possible offensive opportunity from the Bearcats again turned away by Arizona.
1:18 to go. Then on the far side, Arizona maybe a quick numbers advantage there, but Zell quickly to clear the ball to harm's way for the Bearcat defense. Final 70 to go. Here in game number 2, the Bearcats still trail by 1. Is this perfect defensive performance still continuing for the Wildcats of Arizona?
Bearcats stuck in their own corner right now. 50 will keep it there. Sai able to break it out, but it's right over to Amp. Over to Bob. The shot able to be saved by Zell. Now Cincinnati trying to transition to offense. Can't get it there quite yet. Mystic just has to lie in wait. Able to play it around Amp. Pass center. Sai is going to collect on it. Trying to bring it through the corner now. Amp trying to interrupt the play, meets up with Goose. Long clear down the other way. That one's, I believe it was off target, but Mystic there to cover it up either way. But the double from Amp will be too good this time around. 2-0 for Arizona.
Yeah, Mystic sets up that double, and he was caught in no man's land. Sideways there, though, almost made the touch, but 27 to go the lead back out to 2. 9.5 perfect defensive minutes for Arizona so far.
Still looking to continue that trajectory as well. Bob stops it in the midfield, almost gets a dunk as well. Now some demos trying to come out from the Bearcats, get a little bit more aggressive on the offensive half. Mystic looking for a tight angle double, can't get it center for any teammates either. Now Zell looking to get it off the sidewall, just trying to at least get one for the road here to get that mentality that you can score against Arizona, and they do it with 2 seconds on the clock.
Well, they break the perfect night for Arizona. 9:58 into this series. They do finally get that first one to fall. It's got to be a good feeling for Cincinnati.
Yeah, after 9 minutes and 58 seconds scoreless, they are finally able to break down the Arizona defense. Mystic, 0 seconds, pops it high off the wall, off the ceiling, excuse me. Sai still keeping it up. Zell, the catch and carry, able to be easily turned away by the defense of Arizona. That was a close call in the last remaining seconds there of game number 2, but Arizona were able to hold on with a 2-1 victory. But we'll have to see now. The Bearcats, they were able to score, so they may have an explosion of offense here in game number 3.
We'll have to wait and see. But game 3 coming up next. We're trying to get another new server here for Arizona. Cincinnati, hopefully this one is at least slightly better. As Arizona lead, though, Sleeper 2-0. Any shocking concerns there for Cincinnati, or are we kind of expecting Arizona to be at the performance they've had so far?
I mean, I think Arizona have just outperformed at least my expectations of them on the defense. They have kept up with the offense that Cincinnati has been trying to pull out of their hats and trying to find scoring ways, but Arizona have not allowed that to happen in any capacity, except for the final 2 seconds. But there's plenty of opportunities on the side of Cincinnati where it seemed like they would have a goal, but then Arizona, just at the last possible moment, they said no. They said, we're going to keep this, we're going to keep you at 0, and we're going to stay on top. So, I mean, Cincinnati, they were able to get that goal, and I think their confidence is going to start to go up here a little bit. They do have to reverse sweep against Arizona now, so we'll see exactly what happens and what shakes out here in game 3.
That would roll. I mean, again, Gustav told me they've been grinding. You know, I got to watch the Utah game last week. I mean, I was shocked at how well, they can play defensively. We talk about, in other sports, I mean, college basketball, for example, like there's teams where the defense is just lights out. Arizona's one of those teams now in CCS, so it's just straight, 15, 20 minutes of hell. I mean, it's difficult to score.
Yeah, Zell trying to score right off the bat here, able to be saved away by Amp. The demo on the goal line, but the shot goes wayward of the net. Bob able to clear it out, almost has an open look there. Mystic at the last possible second will make a save, but it's still dangerous here for the Wildcats. They're still trying to keep up on offense, but Cincinnati able to turn it away.
First 30 seconds, Arizona again. Solid defensive start. You get through that first possession, not allowing anything to go the way of the Bearcats here. Again, Arizona has played every single second of this series at least tied or in the lead, so they have not faced adversity yet in terms of trailing. So we'll see if Cincinnati can make an early statement here in game 3.
Still on offense, Zell keeping it for the Bearcats, but Goose trying to cut it off. Drops over to Amp. Mystic just has to lie in wait, has to try and avoid a demo, but he can't. Zell in an awkward spot, able to get it away from the net though. Now the Wildcats, a little bit of dangerous offense here, able to be turned away by Cincinnati finally. That shot, top right corner, just hits the post. Double demo now on the side for the Wildcats. Bob's shot will be turned away by Sai. You have some high-octane offense here in the start of game 3.
Ball's about to force a lockup too there. Minute 30 away from a minute away from halftime, Sleeper. And again, Arizona is continuing to apply pressure. They're creating demos. There's another one there for Mystic, but maybe a chance for Sai. 1-on-2. Goose is left alone. He will make the save.
Zell hunting the demo as well. Couldn't end up finding it through. It was saved away by the Wildcats. Still, as high octane as these offenses have been here so far in these transitions and these aggressive demo plays, that shot from Zell able to be saved by Amph. Mystic can't keep up with it. But as dangerous as these opportunities have been, the defenses have been able to hold on. That one just off the crossbar as well. This time it's the shooting accuracy plaguing Goose.
That's a difficult shot, but you know, in this series, you got to be able to put that one away, Sleeper, and that could come back to bite the Wildcats later if they drop this one by a singular goal. But pass over the middle, shot no good until holds that one off. But another good look there early on in the second half for Arizona.
Yeah, the Bearcats were given a gift off of that crossbar miss there from the Wildcats, trying to create that into some offense of their own. The shot from Zell will be barred down, and the Bearcats open up the scoring in game 3 and find their first lead.
2:26, there's the first lead of the night for the Bearcats. Sleeper, and just after the halfway point, 1-0. Now Arizona trailing for the first time tonight.
Yeah, Nation, that little crossbar miss could end up coming back to bite them. They still have a 2-0 series lead, but the Bearcats, they seem to be getting warmed up into this series. They are in a prime position here to take this series at least the distance to attempt the reverse sweep, because they are looking dangerous on the offensive half. They've been able to keep up on the defense as well from what Arizona have been shooting at them. Amph able to save that one, but it lands right back into the hands of Mystic. And now it's 2-0 for the Bearcats.
Amph just doesn't really get the defensive touch he was hoping for there, and it kind of got a little bit behind him and set up another open net. Mystic will take that every day of the week. 2 minutes to go. The lead out to 2.
Just under 2 minutes to work with here, Nation. Arizona, their defense starting to get caught out a little bit too much against the Bearcats. They have definitely turned it up a notch. Now Mystic trying to hunt some more bumps, but he's not able to find it through. Bob trying to clear with Amph. Gets past the midfield line, but Sai is there to stop it at the point of contact. Now Mystic able to clear it up. Trying to pancake that one center for Zell. It's going to be water falling down, but the defense from Arizona is in the net to cover it up.
Minute 25 to go. Arizona trailing 2, trying to get this series back within reach here in game 3. Maybe something over the middle. Zell quick to cover that one with ease, though, Sleeper. And again, the Cincinnati defense continuing to get better throughout the course of the night.
Yeah, they've definitely been able to cover up a lot better and really make those last-second necessary touches that they weren't quite able to find in the first couple of games there that allowed Arizona their leads. And they're holding Arizona scoreless here in game 3 so far, giving them a taste of their own medicine. Amph, the long clear out. Sai is able to push it into the corner. Amph trying to get it center for Bob, able to be covered by Mystic. Now Zell clearing it upfield, faking out a couple defenders as well. 50 with Amph, lands into the hands of Sai. He leaves it for Mystic. Shot will come through, able to be saved away by Bob, but Cincinnati, they're still hunting here, Nation.
30 to go. Zell fires. No good. Kusnov hold that one off of the Wildcat defense. You got about 10 seconds to score if you're Arizona. This possession right in here has to be a goal if you have a chance to tie this thing up later.
Yeah, they need it right now, but Zell just keeping control of the ball, wasting a lot of time off the clock as well, as long as a good clear upfield. Now Amph turns it over to Goose. That shot going to be centered for Amph, but able to be turned away by the Bearcats defense. And now Bob trying to get one for the road at least. It will hit the ground. And Cincinnati, they start the steps of the reverse sweep.
On to game 4, Sleeper. They finally do get a game and at least avoid getting swept here to open up week 5 with in a top 10 undefeated showdown.
Yeah, as well as, I should say, holding Arizona scoreless. I mean, look at these stats here. We had 12 shots from Cincinnati. That is way more than any other game that we've seen so far. 9 saves from Arizona, so they were able to turn away a lot of those opportunities. But Cincinnati, their offense was just too much for Arizona's defense to keep up with. They had too many shots, and they were able to hold the offense from Arizona as well. They were able to keep them in check, keeping them to only 6 shots. And I will say, Nation, Arizona's shot totals haven't been too high so far this series. It's been their quality of shots, but luckily for Cincinnati, they've been making that quality dip with the amount of defense they've been having.
Right, and Arizona saved, 9 of 12, and which means one ball did see not a save or a goal occur. And then you saw the second goal Cincinnati scored that was off the back of Amp's car that was a goal on a silver platter. So if you can at least clean up that small mistake on those small defensive touches, and it's really just a 1-goal game. So Arizona's still in it, but Cincinnati trying to find an early start will not do so. Zell couldn't put the first one away.
Mystic, one more chance. The double will go through. Defense not able to keep up with off of the kickoff attack from the Bearcats. Mystic setting himself up for another little double touch after Zell ended up missing his. And the Bearcats, they get an early lead here.
Another early Bearcat lead. It's just like in Game 3. Now Arizona behind very, very early here in Game 4. Sleeper, we'll see what the Wildcats can do down the stretch.
Yeah, Cincinnati, they are continuing to roll along with the momentum that they have started to build since the end of game number 2. That's when their offense really started to come alive, ending up breaking the scoreless streak as well there with 2 seconds left. But with time to work with the same offense that they were producing, they have been able to take leads and have held Arizona scoreless since the start of game number 3 as well.
Bearcats a 3-0 run so far to open up since Game 3. So again, if that can continue, Bearcats could be in touch for a Game 5, which would be exciting. I mean, it's what we wanted to see in a battle like this, so I can't complain for a Game 5 if it occurs. But again, there's still a long way to go, and Arizona has numbers here.
They just can't get it through. The bump never ended up coming through for Zell, or on Zell, I should say, and he was able to keep up on that defensive end, stay clinical with it, and put the opportunity away. Amph just has to let that one for Bob, but now it's an open net opportunity. Quick counter for Mystic. It's a 2-0 lead now, Nation.
And Arizona sent the whole house, and Bob committed as last and got burned. Now 2-0, just 90 seconds in.
What a touch from Mystic there. He delayed that touch until Bob was committing on it, and then just hit it right around him, giving himself a nice open lane. That very fast kickoff ends up right into the hands of Zell, giving the Bearcats an opportunity to get some more offense in here in game number 4. But like you mentioned, Nation, this game, it will probably go to game 5, barring a comeback here from the Wildcats. But I'd say it's a little bit unexpected from the way that we thought it would be game 5.
Absolutely. I mean, both teams, too, what you could call dominant games defensively. I mean, if this continues for Cincinnati.
Zell through the corner. It ends up for Sai. The shot will be stopped at the point of contact there. Now Mystic trying to continue the Bearcats attack. Ends up into the corner. Still able to keep it there is Amph. Sai able to take control of it. Leaves it for Zell. Mystic faking a touch as well, but Goose read it the whole way, trying to get a redirect on target. Mystic almost with an own goal, but the Wildcats still trying to get something on offense here.
Goose not from the backfield, immediately broken up though by Zell. And Cincy's defense is getting much faster in terms of their defensive rotations and challenges, so they're forcing Arizona out earlier on in the possession, which is a good news for the Cincy defense. And Arizona's offense has not seen anything since game 2, Sleeper, that they finally get it to fall.
Yeah, they've had good offensive opportunities, but unfortunately, until now, the Bearcats defense has been able to cover up every step of the way, but that was a great challenge there from Bob to just have it land right into the net. And now it's a 1-goal game here with 2:13 on the clock. The Wildcats now with a bit of offensive momentum off the kickoff as well. That one drops down. Mystic able to put it away. Now trying to get the Bearcats back onto offense. Zell through the corner. Bob already there to catch and bring it back out into that red half.
150 to go here. Oh, and I have to misread for Gustav, but hit the ceiling and come back down to him there. But unfortunately for him, it did go all the way across. Now Cincy back in Arizona territory. Minute 40, 100 seconds to go. Sleeper, Arizona still need one down the last 100 seconds.
Yeah, Bearcats firmly on offense as well. That shot from Sai able to be saved away by Goose. And a good clear out from Amph at least relieves the pressure. But without ball control, they can't transition to offense. Now Sai, once again, challenge into the corner. Mystic trying to pop at center for Zell, but Goose already cutting it off. Trying to transition here. 50 ends up into the corner. And now Mystic, some quick transition play. Sai's shot off of the post, but it doesn't fall into the net. And the Wildcats, they catch a massive break, but can they bring it into offense?
If they've got 2 breaks in this game, Sleeper, they really should have conceded twice, and it's still just a 1-goal game in the last 50 seconds here. And Am trying to take it for himself. Sell across open space. Last 45 to go since his defense got to hold off 1 or 2 more attacks here.
That's a dangerous touch from Zell off of the crossbar, and Amph, he will capitalize. They have been getting gifts left and right from Cincinnati, and that one no different. Mystic can't read the crossbar touch and get a touch on the ball, and that one right into the net. Tie game, 37 seconds.
Back to level again, off the kickoff, maybe a chance here. Double bump though, now 1-on-1. Goose has to find a touch, and he will. 30 to go, still level at 2.
Bearcats still on offense here. Zell keeping possession for Cincinnati. Ends up into the hands of Bob though. A little quick offensive attack from him. Amph able to catch it, but a good touch from Zell gets him off of the ball. Now Zell can't get it past that midfield line. Bob bringing it back into the red half for the Wildcats. Now Amph with some control, pops at center. Zell able to cut it off. Probably just going to play this one to the ground. Sai getting a last-second save. That one could have been dangerous, but instead we have overtime.
I thought Arizona was going to kill it there, but they wanted to play that in their own territory, got the transition, and then saw at least one look open up. And now overtime. If Arizona scores, this is over.
Yeah, Bearcats, they need to get the victory here to keep their reverse sweep hopes alive. Zell trying to bring it out of their own half now. Gets it around a couple. It's through the corner. Going to be center. Demo on Amph as well. Sai finally able to get involved in the play. Trying to get the redirect as well as the ball pops center for him, but couldn't get it around the Arizona defense. They've been doing a much better job on their own defensive half, but some bumps opening up some space, and Sai will slot it through. We go to game 5.
What better way to go to game 5 with a reverse sweep on the line, and Cincinnati had Arizona starved. They were all bunched up in the corner there, and then had opened up the demo play and set up the offense to score. Going now to game 5, Sleeper, it's 2-2 with one last game to decide it.
Arizona, and that second half was a lot better from Arizona compared to game 3 and even the start of game number 4. Their defense really started to hold on a lot better against Cincinnati. Even in the midfield, they weren't really allowing Cincinnati those opportunities on the offensive half to score, but it ended up being a little bit too much in the end as Cincinnati ended up taking game number 3 and game number 4 to try and secure the reverse sweep. There's one final game to play. Winner will take all.
Winner take all, game 5. This is a big win for both teams.
Either way, both of these teams have played immaculately tonight. There's just been very minor mistakes that the other team have been able to capitalize on at the most crucial of moments.
Absolutely. Sleeper, we've seen both teams now win 2 in a row. What do you expect to see happen here in game 5?
In game 5, I expect this to be the kind of matchup that we expected. Some back and forth offense here, back and forth defense, and really switching of the leads a lot more than what we've seen. And hopefully by the end of it in overtime to cap it off as well.
I think both teams, again, they won 2 in a row. We saw Cincinnati's defense start to really lock into this series. We saw Arizona do it earlier on. Now I think both teams have had a lot of time to adjust. I'm expecting to see Arizona play another defensive game and be really solid and efficient defensively. So I think it's going to be very tough to score here in game 5. I think the Wildcats win by 1.
There's that one that the Bearcats have secured for themselves. Only 33 seconds off the clock. Zell, just a nice little lob from that side wall. Some demos ending up into the hands of the Bearcats as well. Opens up some space. So it's a early 1-0 lead here for Cincinnati. Trying to push it to 2 now.
40 seconds. And there's maybe a chance or two here. Missick killed in action there. Now Gustav towards the corner. Arizona trailing early again. Cincinnati just continuing to find ways to be efficient in the early parts of this game.
Sai able to pop it high off the backboard. Pops it center for a shooter, but not able to commit on that ball. Too many defenders in the net for Arizona. Now a little team pinch there. Ends it up all the way in Cincinnati's half, but Mystic able to catch it and clear it right back up.
Wildcats just continue to just kind of face that pin down pressure when they're on defense, and the offense just can't really create any great transitions. Maybe a demo play there. Amp couldn't quite connect on either one. It's bobbing to pop this one high in the air. No one able to challenge.
Sai trying to get a clear out. Now Mystic pops it center for Zell. It's going to be off the backboard. Bob is able to get a touch though. Keeping that one away from being a dangerous opportunity. Bob taking it under one. Under Zell as well. And that's a 1-1 scoreline.
What a play there for Bob. Goes under the first. Forces the low 50s. Zell jumps off the ground. Gets it under him. 3:21 to go. 1-1.
Plenty of time on the clock for either of these teams to really take advantage. It has been back and forth. The offenses have been rolling along for the Bearcats at least, but Cincinnati, or Arizona, I should say, they had a couple opportunities, but one was really all they needed. Quick breakaway from Bob, and again opens up a second goal for him and the Arizona Wildcats. He is putting the team on his back right now.
3:04 and Bobby's second, and you know, games like this, Sleeper, you need somebody to go big, and Bob has done that so far here in Game 5. We know Zell and Mystic to be those weapons for Cincinnati, so they need someone to go big down the stretch here now as they trail by 1.
Yeah, 3 minutes on the clock. Zell meeting up with Sai, trying to get that shot on, but it's going to be put away by the defense of Arizona. Now some demos still coming out on the side of the Bearcats. And has been their go-to play to try and open up some space. It has worked pretty efficiently here in this series, but not effective in that instance. Now Sai gonna drop it down center. Goose just trying to take control. Able to get a 50 to the sidewall. Zell trying to keep it in. Mystic over to Sai. The shot comes through, and now it's 2-2.
2:29, a tie game again. Cincinnati pull the 1-2-3 from Mystic to Sai, and Bob left in no man's land. Is bird or level again.
Like I said before this game started, Nation, back and forth offenses, lots of goal-for-goal scenarios here. Bob trying to get a third for the Wildcats. His shot will be put away. He no longer has 100% shooting accuracy. Now Zell pops it over to Mystic on that sidewall, collecting the boost as well, but Bob able to put it away. Zell pops it up. Goose taking advantage of it. Sai able to get a touch to the corner, keeping it away from the hands of the Wildcats as the Bearcats of Cincinnati go back to work on offense.
Good demo there, sets up, good double demo. It's 3-on-1 quickly here in transition. Goose not redirect, just off the mark. Sai touch with nothing, finds Mystic with full in the tank there. Now the transition begins for the Bearcat offense.
Yeah, but Bob is able to take it and clear it all the way up. He has been able to find all of these good clears that have been important for Arizona to get to allow that space to recover. Mystic able to get a touch there over to Zell. Has a little bit of space to work with, but it's going to be closed up by Amph. Now the ball popping over to Bob, able to get a nice long clear again. Trying to transition it into some offense for the Wildcats, but they haven't really been able to take control on the offensive half. Bob's shot off the crossbar, saved by Mystic. Follow-up from Amph, able to be saved. And it's still on the goal line. Goose is finally able to put it through for the Arizona Wildcats. And I think they were just delaying the inevitable there. It was on the goal line for so long. Goose was finally able to push it through.
Yeah, that play was initiated by Bob, too. And he's still yet again, Sleeper, involved in every single big play of the game for the Wildcats.
Yeah, but now Sai trying to get something big here for Cincinnati, looking for the double, saved by Amph, and the touch goes away from Zell as well. Quick transition here from Arizona, trying to open up a 2-goal lead. Shot from Amph, saved away. Just less than a minute now for the Bearcats to try and come back into this one, but Bob, he gets a hat trick, and he will open up a 2-goal lead for the Wildcats, excuse me.
And it's Bob again, Sleeper, just continually getting involved in this game, and what bigger way to go big in Game 5, Sleeper? Bob has done it all.
When the team needed someone to put the rest of them on their back, Bob stepped up and put them there. He has 3 goals, 3 saves, 7 shots as well. So he has been putting work on both the offense and defense. Also accredited with the assist for that goal line goal from the Wildcats. So he has been very vital to this Wildcats team here in Game 5. Stomping out the reverse sweep. 20 seconds to work with, though. Bearcats, they still have some offense alive. Now cutting it down to 1 goal with 16 seconds.
Zell got that second touch, sets up the 2-on-1 inside. Puts home a third, 16 seconds. The Bearcats now have some life.
Just enough time on the clock. They need a good kickoff here. That one lands right into the hands of Bob. Trying to waste a lot of time here. Over to Amph. Big clear out. Sai isn't able to get a touch on it. That one could be the dagger there, sent through from Amph.
Bob's got 918 points now, involved in all 5 goals still. He picks up yet another assist. 5-3, the Wildcats lead, 9 to go.
9 seconds. It needs to be very quick here from the Bearcats if they have any hope, but that will go wayward of their chance. Actually, 2 seconds, nation. Only 1 goal still. They could be
2 to play. I mean, it's doable, but you need something off the kickoff. So you need something to at least fall to you and give yourself a chance to keep it off the ground too, which is another difficult task to do against Arizona. That's going to be dead off the kickoff. Arizona pick up the win in 5.
Almost a reverse sweep from the Cincinnati Bearcats, but another heartbreaker Game 5 loss from Cincinnati at the hands of the Wildcats. And Arizona pick up the victory. They move on to 4-0 in conference play, and the Bearcats will fall to 4-1.
Well, Arizona finally gets that quality victory on the resume after picking up the win tonight in 5. They've been questioned all season about how real the Wildcats after everyone wants to say, oh, well, they're only ranked high because they took Drexel to 5 or they played Florida close. Well, finally they do get that quality win that can say, hey, we are here to play. They get a big win now. Cincinnati, they still have a couple of challenges down the stretch. I mean, again, Iowa State for both these teams still left to go, so still tons of good action coming from the Big 12 the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, there's still plenty of great games coming ahead for Season 5 of CCS in the next coming weeks here and in the next few streams as well. We'll have to see what games end up being played out, but some great stuff from both of these teams here. A lot of high quality defense and high octane offense as well. That aggressive demo play from the Bearcats, it was working for a long time there, but I think the Arizona Wildcats were finally able to start covering up some of those rotations from the demos that opened up the space, and they took Game 5-4. So it was a flurry of offense in that last final game as well.
What an offensive performance of Bob in Game 5. He took over. He made the difference, and the defense kind of fell apart at the end there, giving Cincinnati 2-3 goals down the stretch, but their offense continued to stay poised, and they got the job done. We'll be live tomorrow. Florida takes on Missouri at 8:30, an undefeated SEC matchup at 8:30 Eastern. We'll see you guys then on tomorrow night.